Duke in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hey, Duke, what's on your mind today?
Hey, how you doing, Tom?
Good. What's up?
I was calling about the person that you had on, Horace Cooper, I believe his name was.
Yes, sir.
His name was?
Yeah.
Well, when you were interviewing, I found out he was African American. I just, putting it lightly, my head just hit the roof because as an African American male myself, I always feel like there are those African Americans who feel like, okay, I've made it, and then want to pull the reins up for any other African Americans who are trying to come up. And that's one of the biggest issues that's what's in our culture and race as African Americans, is that those who make it don't pave the way for those who are trying to come up and trying to get to where they are. They pull the reins up and then want to say, well, affirmative action is not needed anymore, and this and that and the other.
Right.
And it's just...
They pull the ladder up, or they kick the ladder away.
Yeah, they kick the ladder away when somebody else is trying, like you said, when somebody's trying to get into school through affirmative action. Those who use affirmative action to get to school want to get rid of it because they feel like there are some African Americans that's beneath them, and it's just. Right. I think it's one of the biggest issues in the African American community that there are those who make it don't reach their hand down to help somebody else that's trying to get up, and that's just something that just burns me up inside. Because all need to do help each other out.
Duke, Horace isn't here to defend himself, and so I'd rather not personalize this to him. But let me take this to a larger frame. I would submit that this is this issue of kicking the ladder away. I got mine. The mentality of the people who say that they've got theirs and screw everybody else. Right. That. Whether it is in a particular racial group, whether it's in a particular geographic group, whether it's in a particular educational group, whether it's in a particular industry, whatever it may be, right across the board, that's one of the biggest problems in our society. And that in a way, kind of Mitt Romney's an example of that. Here's a guy who made out like, gangbusters, and what does he want to do? He wants to make it harder for poor people to succeed in the United States and do away with poverty, anti-poverty programs that are going to help form a middle class, regardless of race, right? And go ahead.
But then there are some that say, and I totally agree with you. But then there are those that say that are African Americans say it's the home. But a lot of them came from broken homes,
sure.
or so-called broken homes that one parent or whatnot, or a grandmother raised them, and they made it. And then they want to say it's the broken home is the reason, when they came from a broken home. I mean, that's the thing. It's hypocritical.
Yeah.
Because it's just hypocritical to me where, one person or a group make it, when somebody else trying to come up, they want to pull the reins, they make these excuses, it's a broken home, or we're not working hard enough, and we should take the funding away, stuff like that. It just makes me so upset.
I got it. And as I said, I think right across absolutely with regard to affirmative action and the whole situation with regard to race, but also I think that this is an issue of class and poverty, not this specific one, but there's another issue, we could say side by side, of class in this country. And I think Horace was speaking to that too when he said that he had no problem with George W. Bush's daddy making a big donation to Harvard to get his son into the college, or George W. Bush getting affirmative action at Yale because his father was an alumni, whereas somebody who just whose parents didn't go to college and therefore couldn't say, my son went, I went to Yale, therefore my son can go to Yale or my daughter can go to Yale. That was fine with him, and that's got nothing to do with race. And yet, except for the fact that, as I pointed out, net multi-generational wealth in white families is massively higher in the United States than it is among African American families, and that is the remnant of 500 years of this. I used the word Holocaust before, of the horrors of racism and slavery and apartheid in this country, and which in my opinion has not gone away. And
right. Well, let me one more point, and then I'll let you go.
Sure.
And I totally agree. And again, I totally agree with you. But then and I can only speak for with me and how I see things as far as with my race. And I know it's not necessarily just a total race issue, but it just seems like there are those who make it, or or make it off of this, make tons and tons of money, or gets to a Supreme Court or something in that nature, and want to just pull it away for those who are trying to go the same way and trying to make it as them. Because they just want to pull it away, and there's those who make it who think that, okay, we're in because well, we did this, we use affirmative action or whatever, but we're in the group, and I don't care about anybody else. If you got to try to get up the only way you possibly can, but I'm not going to help you,
right.
And I'm going to make rules to make it so you can't make it the way I did.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you, Duke. Shane's got a Michelle Bachmann clip he wants to share or Michelle Obama, excuse me, Obama clip that he wants to share. Here she is.
He believes that when you've worked hard and done well, and walk through that doorway of opportunity, you do not slam it shut behind you. No, you reach back and you give other folks the same chances that help you succeed.
This is what you're talking about, right, Duke?
Yeah, because I think a lot of people forget where they come from.
Yeah.
And that's that people forget where they come from.
Yeah.
This is my first time, and I'm surprised I actually got on. I really appreciate you letting me talk.
My pleasure, Duke. And thank you very much for the call.